This conversation might be in two parts. Na me nam Kaneshia and about Cooker's Delight. BPD, and fortunately for me, the boss herself was here. And we had a conversation. And where the conversation was going on, I'm say, it's like gifty, but you're a bit smart to say, na you didn't come. I'm a man for a tea story. I'm sure a lot of people can also learn a lot of things out of it. And she gladly accepted. And then me walk Cooker's Delight here at Kaneshi opposite a Cocoa Clinic. EBD. If I didn't buy no, what do you call other branches or has a drew but the story in there, Mesro say over pet in Subi or Fro Kunu or Fro Mane Busha for na Matinase. Na a tea sister gifty a story. I'm traveling tomorrow. If you have another mom saying that the I have to sit with my sister. Na you don't come over, or some year. That's why I'm here. Zionfelix. Thank you very much. Say, oh, my goodness, I'm going to gift. Yes. I'm going to say. How's the year going for you?
The year so far so good. By the grace of God, so far so good.
Okay. Briefly about Cooker's Delight. Branches in
this is the main office, the main branch, Carnation, directly opposite Cocoa Clinic, and then we have another branch at Swan Lake. It's close to St. Teresa's School. Then there's one at
somebody who doesn't know Swan Lake,
it's at North Carnation.
Okay.
It's North Carnation. It's very close to St. Teresa's School.
Okay.
All right. And then the third one is at Circle. We're in the American Mall, Odor Rise, directly opposite Odor Rise.
Okay.
And then we'll also have one at East Legon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's close to East Legon Police Station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 4 branches in all in
for
Accra.
now. For now, yes, please.
Plans of expanding them?
A lot.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
How many years of operating this?
Actively, I would say 7 to 8 years now.
7 to
actively,
8
yeah.
years.
But I've been there for a while, but actively about 7 to 8 years now.
Okay. And how has it been? 7 to 8 years.
For now, so far so good, by the grace of God. For now, so far so good.
Okay.
So far so good, by the grace
so
of God.
If Zionfelix want to venture into a food business, restaurant, maybe I'm a demi boys near waiters, near waitresses, no me cook so hard. Will you advise me to do that? Because I didn't want for 3 minutes say, I don't need any mocha. So no beer, because I don't need any mocha.
I know.
Okay.
I know, but 1 year, yeah, and all.
Okay.
And they also need a good location.
Okay.
So as I don't need a work, I can't because of work and any about that. Just say if your location in, I don't know yet. I don't need that's all to our own baby.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a good business.
Okay.
It's a good business.
Yeah, but back to Cooker's Delight. Aside the restaurant, the 4 branches, what other things do you do?
I do this quite a bit of a lot of things. We do savings and loan as well. We loan money to. Actually, I have a partner who has a certificate to operate as a bank, as a savings and loan. So okay. I bring the money. We have a group of people, so we give loans to people to do. If you are soft loan, I think short-term loans.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I also have a lot of things in pipeline. I want to venture into the estate development, and the process is ongoing. So very soon, I'll also be out there.
Okay. Into a company, say, you
have to call me.
Okay.
You have to call me because I'm the main. You have to call me, then I'll connect you to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do we cause
yes.
Okay.
Yes, but we don't give below 100,000. It's above anything below 100,000 we don't do. It's above 100,000. Yes.
That's for big businesses, no.
Yeah, because we're doing for everybody first, but the stress is coming too much. People, Ghanaians.
So
most of Ghanaians, I tell people there's money all of us, but we don't have attitude. We are not truthful.
Okay.
When they're coming for the money, it's a different story. When it's time for you to pay the money, especially when they realize I'm a woman. So some of them, they underrate me. But if it comes to business, I'm very firm. Yeah. And that is the truth. So above 100,000.
And above 100,000, and no,
you should have a collateral. You should have something that's, in case you're not able to pay the money, the company will fall on it.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So how do we reach out to you?
I can put my number out there.
Okay.
0244, 0243, sorry. 02433 79412.
Okay. Yeah. But you repeat, Mama.
02433 79412.
I was another day I was in Marbles here and conversation with the Minuka. savings and loans. Obo percent. Pacho. Serious people only. And when you be able to make 100,000, don't call. Up 10,000, I'm up 20,000, up 40,000. I could your school fees. I have a friend. 100,000 plus. So it's serious person. You serious business or no? Open so China council. They can't say the 200,000 plus neko. Into up 200,000, I'm afraid. Yeah, my big sister gifty now. I'm at 200,000. Now make sure so China go good selection. Now but turn on your first one. This kind of back. I'll be back after the break on that note.
Zionfelix TV. Zionfelix TV. Zionfelix TV. Zionfelix TV. Zionfelix TV. Zionfelix TV.
My name is Madam Gifty Brown. In Nkomo here at Cooker's Delights, Kaneshi opposite Coco Clinic. The Kaka first part on that part I break it because but I will trust now being so when he has can be no afraid for that. Pesa say or more air remittance service platform what about here? Ubit me use as Ghana, Mamo UK, America, Canada, Europe, United Arab Emirates, Munya between me I use Pesa. Now, mode Aseniska Aba Ghana. Download the app on Google Play Store or iOS App Store and register. Auto card HM1 Ubian Dupu Ubian Yusuf and be a very safe on the platform. Rating so very high. But Aseniska Ako bank account and as a mumu. Patchman call shop B MQDQ so networking yet. So I know man there is a 1991 no man uzi no. There be phones on no send this scanner rating high. Use the promo code Zionfelix na ubenya cashback. Madam Brown.
Yes,
where were you born?
I was born in the Volta region.
Okay, so you're Voltarian.
100%.
F1.
Morocco.
No, how's life going up in the Volta region?
So it wasn't that smooth or rosy because I grew up to know my great grandmother as my mom. I think I was 13 years then. When she passed, and I realized she wasn't my mother. So then I had to move to another town, Picky.
And now, mommy, where?
My mommy. I think Metisena or Togo at that time. But me and my grandmother, my great mother, we by, and I want to be who says, "My mini, she was my great grandmother."
So, I think great grandmother. Oh, my men, nana.
My mini nana.
Oh, my nana.
That's my great grandmother. Okay. Yeah. My many nana.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So she was around. I grew up to know as my mother. Who was telling me who say?
Your mommy.
Yeah. And so Hona. Yeah, they be bad Picky. Picky is part of the Volta region as well. Hona between our crab say I think about a year or two. Namiton there's something called I don't know how they you can trim calculo. On traffic, but once a car close, or the Katia.
Is it the round one?
The round one, yeah. And no, and yellow, okay. And a sweet band. Almost your traffic, almost sweet band. Namiton, I will picky. Obiako school, then I had to go and sell. And see, one day, my auntie, be in the time in an answer. I think about you couldn't business when I see me picking or say, or buy or say, we are there. I don't know, you say, me better now. Many on them, and I'm sure I'm not school. No, say, now, what your school is she? And see, maybe say call, and I'm so okay. I'm going to mention no, million now. Almost say, almost some days. Number 5, I will say that very day, or picky or only never come. I'm so okay.
You better talk before all grandmother passing on. Now go school.
I think I was at class 2, class 3. How I'm just school. I'm go school till up to today.
You just go to class.
Yeah,
starting now.
Yeah.
I go next.
Yeah. Even now we everything come to an end.
Okay.
Yeah. So me Anthony bring me back to Mikrom. Yet now kakra and I see say ye back or the me back but me Anthony so at that time not on the beginning in same. She was willing to help but only be and see or see when you be a man and veteran in Wakanda as a house help. Ghana Water and Switch flat. When I'm veteran first one. For I was there as a house help for some years. And see and I'm saying chair and I'm saying few honum and I'm saying call airport residential.
How was it being
House help?
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. We show Kola, we senior ma. We show no me do ma school. Nkwana mko school agbe mo school Kanda. Do me school akọ form we are Adriani wako Nima market akọ Dija back to Kanda. That was my daily activity.
How was the treatment?
You know, those days there was no cameras, there was no anything like social media. That was, I think it was mid 90s or late 90s there. About
97 Ebano.
And see, but you don't have a say because you are there to serve. Me serve here because I knew where I was coming from. So I cried.
Did they maltreat you?
Not really. Those people, not really. Okay. Not really. They were good. Just that Ejman and I does, but I wasn't even paid. No, I want to America.
Just feeding you, housing you.
Yes, and then at that time, like I said, I 4 years, and then the work was in Juma. And I couldn't stay for 4 years because no one to America. After many years, then I wanted to go and do it and then be getting money out of it. So me jai how na call Kanda, airport residential. Because now maybe not new more commercial man, one of the top commercial bank managers and only my wife. How na see na be brave. My no anti rest in perfect peace. Or one order. So for me to stand the bar, they were paying me at that time. And see, me na be brave. And see, later something happened and then they got divorced, so I had to leave that place. So me just hold no airport residential hold on na me nyana did Juma or Zimbabwe embassy as a nanny or ambassador di fie or airport hold now. So
how were you getting all those big deals? Because from Kanda to airport residential to Zimbabwe embassy.
American is saying I make friends. I'm very easy to make friends. I like to make friends, and so Uncle Fuhu no I'm team sorry. I'm say Kipsy, me you mama, me page mama, me you friend. So I was having a lot of friends, people who were older than me. From up to now, I don't have friends who are my age mates. I mingle with people who are older because I want to learn from them. So it's not also for some years. I heard them share a because I heard not pay no good. And say I think I spent about 2 or 3 years there. I was able to gather some money, and I'm so okay. Now let me go and look for my relatives because I come from a very large family. My late grandfather was a paramount chief, Porter region. Now he's my uncle. So I had let me go look for my family at least. Apart from my auntie, me other relatives. So I went to Kanda, back to Kanda. I'm your auntie. So I spoke to my auntie and said, "Oh, auntie, Ajo, my person better now one chain." And I say, "Oh, what's your better now house? I mean, but me just me could be penny." That time I could use more GMPC. He's also late now. But oh dear bra, make a Alexa Mashe. I went and Papa said I had a mint now, but my auntie, because she's my auntie, she said, okay, but now but me couldn't be fear, you have to disappear. So then I had to go and look for another work. I got paid more at Africo Gardens as a waitress.
So before we go to Africo, how was the experience of staying at a place where you have to be going into hiding
so
when somebody's coming?
Then my auntie, she's also late now. My auntie not obeki or two bread. So kiosk you or need that if you name or the tom bread and say anajo hona meda. Me that kiosk no because ni kun dey bia of here of opojuma ba of here. And see I had to sleep in the kiosk. So me that kiosk no I did change about 4 o'clock na ma sorry ma ko drive up until fast na ma ko ejuma. It's not ma ko ejuma ba around those days you're running shift because I'm a waitress. So remember around 5, 6 there about nani kuno I be dinner why relax now. Then I had to sneak back to the boys' quarters and I go and eat. Then come back to Mikios no mama beda Mikios no. So
why wasn't he agreeing to you staying there?
Oh, that one said and you'll be an over na weapon in New we really knew about now on chain. And I think that was the reason why he didn't want me to stay there. It's not because of Onangasa on pair Ebusiamanso.
Yeah.
And I perfectly understand him at that time.
You said in December.
Because for me, I understand it perfectly now. Sasa na miso, but the enemy to me who say if you allow people to your private space too much, as a lot goes on that you wouldn't be happy with. So I understand him, and now forgiving everybody who has offended me. That is the truth of the matter. And all of them are my friends now. That is the truth. If you don't forgive people, how God forgive your sin? And you can't live life without not forgiving people. Do you understand? So from there, African Gardens, no, and I'm saying Tamara's restaurant is at Kalkudi Junction. And then we're having a branch at Mountains, in Yoko Mountains weekday or Accra. And so how no, then I started making more friends. So I wanted to become a fashion designer. But at that time, I wasn't having enough money to go back to school. So I said, okay, let me further this house help job. And see, there was one time, and there were some people were witnessing. I'm witnessing my.
As in witness? No,
that time was ICG. Now Royal House. Then it was IBWC. Okay. So they invited me to church, and I went, and that was the day I received Christ.
Okay.
And the rest is history. So from there, I sorry them. Sorry them. Everybody, Obia call ICGC for years now. Now ICGC Royal House.
Royal Chapel.
Obia knew me. Although I don't check them anymore, but everybody knows me because I was a senior usher even then.
Okay.
And see, you call rural evangelism, and you're witnessing buses in Accra at that time. So this one time we went for a witness in Accra, and then you were bus no. And there was a gentleman. I got out from the bus, and then he also got out. I said, can I speak to you? And I said, yeah. And I said, why don't you work? I don't know. Daytime say, unko ijuma. And I'm so me ijuma, but me free time I do. There's no say, sir, okay. I want to be your friend. I want to come to your church. And I'm so okay. So I invited him for church. After a week or before then, we're having a confession of sins. So we invited him by, and that was then he also received Christ. So we became friends, like normal friends. He call those days there was no phone, so once in a while, because of me, he would come to church. And then he said he wanted to marry me. But I him. Obisa me say me fan come fear, you know, Victor. At that time, there was no home for me to take him, but I didn't want him to know.
Where were you staying then?
In the church. I was living in the church.
Still?
Yes, I was still living in the church. So I had to, okay, me do call. And my number, I don't have telephone at that time. And see, I don't throw the landline number, mommy, or paper. So if I want to talk to him, and then I'll go to a phone booth and call, then we'll talk. So there was one time he came to church, and I catch him, so I'll call UK, and sister be worried, so we too quiet. But he would like me to come and remember now, on any my call, and to meet now, so I said, okay, I'll think about it, and I'll pray about it, and see, I'll give me a feedback. So he has about 2 weeks to leave, and then I'll cast him naturally, you know. So after 2 weeks, I was eager to come, baby. I didn't want him to know that I wanted to come. Because me and my baby there, but yeah. I wanted to prove stubborn. And see, I was so have Friday be. So I came here Thursday evening. And so Hono can say he has to go and know my house because he's leaving me here alone in case of anything. Gosh, I'm so okay. Maybe I do the and trying to make sure say if I had to be honest with him. So I told him that if you be in Hamida, I sorry them when I'm in there. And I said, like how? So I explained and told him the story is okay. Would the woman come back, then I'll see what happened. So he went and then friend me. He stayed, I think it's about 6 or 2 months on my back.
That's the OT as well.
Okay. No, I'm here. So I no catch him say Pastor worry me. And see he wants to see my parents. And I'm okay, I've heard. So the first person that came into mind was my auntie, no family fee grass, and only you couldn't see kissing my at that time. And see me call me auntie, and I'm say, me you be, but if I no place up so who me bush you for, no say okay, I'm fine, me fan number. So me didn't call me auntie, no na me auntie ne so dey call me. I have I don't know, na me or uncle be. You know, from VIP.
Yeah.
You know, Promzi.
Yeah.
He's my uncle, but I'm older than him, so he's my kid's uncle.
Okay.
Nani mami, my grandmother. I'm Nima. So my auntie, any George, my late husband, you know, I call. tell me grandmother and at the family house. And say, Hona, who say, okay, this is where he can come and look for me. And since some few years time, and then he went back to London. Or buy and see call London, call you restaurant. When we say Adriani Ejman was come, so will I be interested to start something on my own? That's it. Yeah. Why not? So was okay. Then let's start something small here. That's how come we started Cook Crazy Lights. And those days it wasn't anything. It was just a kiosk, small kiosk, table, pie. Me ever say 4 cry. Sometimes they hold the metal on 2, cut 2. The following day you had to. It was a small business. And see, as time goes on, I think about 3-4 years time, you worry now. I got pregnant and me home about boy, I'm a home about boy. And turned 4, and then his 5th birthday, birthday party man. And see, that was October 26th. Turned 5. So October, November, December. It was usually Christmas time. My husband, Elizabeth, is a fancy. My husband is a Dada B. Mm-hmm. So fancy people and Christmas and occasions. So Christmas, mostly Christmas, we have to go and shop and all those things. We did our shopping very early because sometimes Christmas and been too much and you're cost. And see, I think on the 6th of December, 2010. That was, I remember very well, was Sunday. My mother, if you're sorry by me, some mother, and so no, only workers in the age more about it. So I think at one point, as I can't see a pity, so at one point, about the one who's a mother, I give you sorry, go dry. So I just quickly went to the bathroom and freshen up and that. And me back, maybe to me die. So I don't know what happened again. He was in them hospital on the bed. I was on my bed. So other the person on TV. I don't know what happened. So I think I went off. I slept off. So in my sleep, then I heard him calling me, Gifty. So then I woke up from my sleep and I saw my door was widely open. Then I said, so maybe a trap door.
Wait, so the two of you were in the same room?
Yes, with my son. So my son was sleeping on his bed.
In the same room?
Yeah, the same room. We sleep in the same room. What you say? Mm-hmm. So me saw from me about me who saw only obij now. My husband is very tall, and I saw him with some short guy, but he is very tall. So me who saw I'm tired now. So I presume that it's a thief. So I started shouting, "Ewi!" So the neighbors rushed and came, and then he started coming. We don't know back on Jana hall. And we Johnny. But I saw the two of them. Yes. That's the time me came, me came July, and then the person left him and then ran away. So George Ovia, no Ovia or Echiho, so you see blood from the gate. What we say, or frame your chair, because where the bedroom is. Now maybe I don't because in so petty who say that time there was no tiles, so who they struggle, you see their foot like who say nipa no more struggle. But he knew that where I was, there's no way of frame your hameti. So he was trying to drag the person to my side for me to hear him calling. There was a house help here. Sleeping with others, according to him. Later, I was saying, but he got scared. So when I started shouting, when I came, my husband was crawling in blood like, it was crazy. So the area boys would assist, and then we took him to Coco Clinic. When we got there, George was like almost, he was stabbed. So I don't know. The pictures are there up to today because I want to show it to my son when he's adult. I want him to finish school because I want him to know exactly what happened to his dad. So when we got to Coco Clinic, I must say I was barely naked because I was asleep. I was deeply asleep. So they said I should come and do card. I had to rush back home to come and take money. So when I was coming, then my neighbor asked me, then I told him, he said, back home, then I remember he gave me money that I had to go and do card. Before I was in jail, they said we should take him to Celeb because maybe I did George 2 or OPD. George he bled like, so then they gave us ambulance. I was sitting there at the back of the ambulance with my husband alone, and Zion, I don't even wish that one for my worst enemy. That's the memories and alone. What I wanted by George death is so painful. It's so painful, and I saw my husband dying. I couldn't even help him. When we got to Celeb, got to emergency. Personally, we got to the gate. They pronounced him dead, and I didn't even know because, even I be, but even the shock alone, it's like I'm dreaming. I wish it was a dream that Miss Sorina, but I realized it was 5 a.m. and they had to take him to the morgue. Maybe feedback. At that time, my sister was with me, so she was handling my son. So I asked myself, my sister said, I'm better. So when I go back, everybody got this. The condition was that bad. So Vietnam said just could have survived. When I got home, like it was crazy. To cut a long talk short, I don't want to prolong it because a lot has happened. A lot has happened. Zionfelix said, I have killed my husband. Even though they did all the friend, I never see me kunu. Oh yeah. After the burial, I don't know how my husband got buried because there was a fight between my family and his family that I have killed my husband. So my late husband was having only biological one sister, no UK or by. She was behind everything that I have killed her brother, sorry. So I think after the burial, 2 or 3 days, they went to report. They came to lock doors that I should go with my son. So now my father and my late husband's best friend, he's a lawyer. I called him Uncle Peter and I told him, Uncle Peter, about locking Nigeria. They came to lock my doors. He said, who? And I briefed him whatever happened. He said, go and report them at Kanishi police station. So I went to Kanishi to report, and then they came and they asked her, was she legally married with your brother? She says yes. Was she living here with your brother before he passed? She says yes. So they said okay. We are not court. If you have issue with her, open the door for her and the charge and take her to court. So they opened the door for me. And the police people left, and they also, whatever had to happen, happened that day. So I was here. It has not been easy. The business was shut down for about 1 year. I wasn't working because I don't even know where to start from. Because like Obi Yareno who said but the shock alone, I couldn't even know how to process the whole thing to start anything on my own, and there was no money at that time because the almost even see me kunu who are fantina kunu one obviously you know. And see, nobody gave me 1 peso. And at that time, there was no money. Like, it's not like today. I was poor. I'm a poor girl. So it was my lawyers, my late husband's school classmates had to do a contribution for me to buy a coffin, to do everything, buy a grave. So after 2 months, when they opened the door, I was there and they brought a suit. When somebody knocked, say I go, I came out because I was only in the house with my son. I came out and there was this motor rider. I said, I've never, not started to come in different shoots. Me name who be put there. Was he of a chamber, blah, 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 and somebody, blah, blah, blah. So I told him I was coming, so I called my lawyer. I said, what's it, Jennifer Bra? I took it and I signed. And then the chamber was also, he said I should bring it at that moment. I should not sit down. So quickly, I looked for church. We could do a law firm. Zion, it's only God who knows what happened that day. When I give the sheet to him, he opened, he read it, and then at that time, I think over maybe 101 years because I became like a mad woman. Everything was like, I don't know how to start life. I don't know how to process everything. I was still in shock. And then I told him, Uncle Peter, I remember very well that day. I said, Uncle Peter, I want to leave. I'm tired. And then he said, Gifty. He's a young man. He said, caution, if you leave, don't ever talk to me again. I said, Uncle Peter, I am tired. I don't have energy to fight. And then he says, Gifty, if you are with me, go and sleep. I'll fight with my last blood for you and your child. If you walk off, your son will grow up and call you a useless mother. You couldn't fight for him. Stay back. I'll fight with you. I fight for you. Then I said, okay. And that day he gave me money for transport. We came back home with my son. At that time, my son was not going to school again because when my son goes to school, the school fees is very expensive. And I couldn't afford to pay this fee at that time. It's one of the top 5 schools in Ghana. They deal in dollars. And I also didn't want to, I don't know what to do. I never want to be a beggar. I don't know how to even to ask people to give me money. I've never done it before after today. Because I have a certain pride in me that if I have to sell pure water, I'll sell it to make money. So for 7 years we've been in court. 7 years back and forth. You know, Ghana judicial system, nothing. Every day when we go, I didn't go and come. Finally, after 7 years, court gave a final ruling, and it was turned out that whatever belongs to my late husband belongs to me and my child. And my son is a minor, so I'm supposed to protect whatever it is his till he's turned an adult. Yeah. And after that 7 years, still everything was like there was nothing happening because there's no money. The only money I had to get is with paying my son's school fees. From the little one I was doing, I had to reopen the shop. Okay. So then even nobody was buying from me because they said I've killed my husband. So nobody was buying from me. I remember those days. I'll take my son. As for my son, I never wanted him to suffer because the dad is not around. So the little money I have, if it's 2 cedis, I'll take droppings and take him to school, Dansoman. When I'm coming back, I'll walk from Dansoman Alpha Beta to Kaneshi Market, then to Kaneshi. And at that time, I had to buy flour, 1 cup. When I come, a big pie, like 6 pieces. I'll be selling at the kitchen. When somebody is buying, they'll shout and call me, "Oh, we told you," then I'll run and come. Somebody will come and buy 1 pie. When I gather, like, if I remember very well, I don't know, at that time, the money was, I think, 10 cedis. Then quickly I have to walk back to Kaneshi and go and buy cassava and buy goat meat, 1 pound. Because I do fufu and a pie. Then I'll come and do fufu, and then maybe I'll walk on. Then I have to take 2 plates. Those days I have a friend at Coca-Cola. He's a Jehovah's Witness. He and his friend, they always come to me. You know why they always come to me? They said they want to buy for me to get money to fill their boy. Because nobody wants to buy for me at that time. So small. And by the grace of God, I'm very focused and God-fearing person. So if I get 1 CD today, I'll make sure I save 8 CDs out of the 1 CD. I will not spend all the money. So then at that time, there was a savings and loan behind Coco Clinic. They will come for my sales every day. If it's 10 CD, I'll give them 8 CD, then keep 2 CDs. And by those days, by the end of the month, I'll have like 2,000, 3,000. Then I'll go and buy stock. Then I'll use some to pay my son. You can check the record from Alpha Beta School. My son went to Alpha Beta. He's now in Upper 6. He's in Cambridge. I was owing school fees if I'm not lying for more than 9 years. You can check the records. It's still there up to today. Yes, you can go and check, ask them. I'm not lying. More than if I'm not lying, my son always.
Why were they allowing the child to go to school after owing schools for that long?
Because they know the story. Okay. And they don't. There is a good school. They know the story, and I also don't want to change the school. Because I didn't have a background of a good education, but I wanted my son to have the best of education. So I had to go and talk to them that the school fees I'm not going to run away. So I'll be paying installments. So sometimes my lawyer will give me money, go and pay some, then I'll go and pay some. And gradually, for about 6, 7 years after, then I was there one day, and the school called me. They called me from Alpha Beta that it was a graduation day, that every parent is supposed to be around that day. So I said, okay, I had to be there for him. So I went. Then I got there was canopy, there was like our day, everybody was happy. I didn't know my son was going to win the most discipline award. So I was there, and then I had Emmanuel Peter Brown, ABN award. I said, what is ABN award? Then I started crying. I had my sign name. I started tearing. Then I said, what is ABN award? Then he says, Mommy, me too, I don't know. So most of the teachers are my friend. Then I asked, what is ABN? He said, ABN is the most disciplined student. He has won it 2 times, 2 different occasions. And when I see my son, I'm happy. But I got to a point I can't go and pick him from school again. You know why? When I go to his school and I see his classmates, his friends, dads around, it breaks me down. So I'll start crying. My son never knew that the dad has passed. I never told him. Said the dad is traveled. He was 5. So we told him my lawyer said, we told him the dad is traveled. He's traveled, he'll come back. So when I go there and I see other fathers picking their children, and then I can't take it. So I stopped picking him. I have to look for a taxi driver. That time the business was picking up small. So I got a driver for him. We'll take him to school and go and pick him for me. And still at that time, I was still owing school fees. I was still owing school fees, but I said, for this school, I'm not going to change it. I didn't have it, but I want my son to have the best of education. So I wasn't going to change the school. So I was doing it until, let's say, 4 or 5 years ago, and things started changing. And now, prior that I can sell like 4 pieces a day, now I can sell 500 pieces. I can do 1,500 pieces orders. Somebody will come to me, give me wedding, and will send me your order about me. Then I'll say, okay, me too. At that time, because I can't afford to employ anybody, I was doing everything by myself. So if it's 150 pieces of pie or 1,500, I have to stand on my feet and do everything by myself. Then the money started coming small. Then I started employing. I had to employ one person. And then now I had to be doing the pastry, because the pastries, up to today, nobody knows my recipe. I would never show, that's my secret recipe. So I'll do the pie, and then the person will be doing other food. So but what I've realized, Zion, this person will call me from UK. Gifty, Obiba Maneme pie. I can say I have one of the best pie in Accra. I can say pie, my samosas. I have one of the best pastries in Accra. So I have a call from UK. Give to people share me pie, US. And I say, hey, God, what is happening to me now? Something like that the whole month I can still make a sales like 300 or 400 cities a month. Now I'm able to make 9,000 a month. I'm able to make 20,000 a month. I say, hey, what is happening? Now I begin to see where the money is coming from. I think I realized my strong role was the pastry side. Mm-hmm. So my focus was more on the pastry side. So if you order pie from me, if you give me 2 o'clock, before 12, your pie is ready. And I also realized that most of Ghanaians, we don't respect time. There's money all over us. We don't have that attitude to make money. God is number one. And so if you give me order, before you come, your order is already there. You don't have to call me again before I deliver. And gradually now, Zion, I don't know what to say anymore. Sometimes it feels like a dream. I mean, maybe I'm assumed that sometimes I feel like I'm sorry, not a die, but I realize God has been so good to me. And so, I don't know. I just want to say thank you to God. And sometimes it's not easy. There's a saying tree that you say, "Oh, bring profit here." Sometimes the stories, it's not easy, but I just want to say thank you to God.
So how is the relationship with the family now?
For my husband has bought this. I was just calculating this morning. It's 15 years and some 5 months.
55 years or 50 years?
15 years.
15 years.
Yeah, he died in 2010.
Okay.
7th December. Okay. So we are in 2026.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's tomorrow that they'll come and ask of me, my son. Nobody have asked of my son up to today. If I'm not lying, because my son looks like his dad. When you see him, you see the twin. Maybe they wouldn't know that's their brother's son. Nobody have asked of Junior up to today. Junior, he asked me, Mommy, Dada George, now he knows his dad is passed, because we told him when he's 18, myself and my lawyer, we sat him down, we told him that this is what happened to your father. So your father is no more. That day was not easy, but he knows now, he's aware. So after that, so Dada George is not having family. Then I keep asking him, Junior, do you need something? Don't you have God? God is all that you need. For now, if somebody come and look for us, you will be there. But for now, focus on your education. And we are good to go. So for almost 16 years, they have not even seen him before. Nobody have asked of Junior.
Whether he's there or he's not there.
No, nobody. No. Nobody knows where Junior is. Apart from my immediate family or my immediate friends, nobody knows. They have not even seen him for 15 years. Nobody have seen him for 15 years. Because I remember the early stages when my lawyer was complaining that, so you people, if you don't even want the woman, don't you even, this boy is your blood. Yep. They said, school na kolano kono, me uniform cost because nobody is ready to help him to pay school fees. So the lawyer said, at least if you don't even want to pay school fees, the boy is your blood. And it's been almost 16 years. And that is the truth. Before
your ex-husband, George passed on.
Yeah.
Did he do anything like, or
no,
did he say anything like that?
No, sir. Me and my husband, so George, the two of us, because George, dear, me, I'm the loud person. George is a very calm, very quiet person. I don't remember George having issue with any of his family, for what I know. So whoever murdered my husband up to today, that the person was, I don't see George having issue with anybody. That is the truth. It's not. I'm not saying it because he's my late husband. I'm saying because that is the truth and the fact. Obi and George, George doesn't on Pekasa. So when people say, now you don't know who are opposite to who could do Pekasa, say, like, so I don't know. Not for what I know. No.
Miss, may I give to Brown? Because what share story now? Let's make this one part one of the conversation.
Okay.
Part two, and also come home with Zionfelix.